Okay, because remember, I don't do it automatically anymore because some things we can't record. So I apologize. Now I'm good. Okay, we're recording. All righty. So it takes me probably a day or two to get the recording because I take away all the trivia at the front where we might just be chatting, and I clean that up. I make sure you can hear it well, and then I turn it into a video I can upload here. All right. So if I wanted to see last week's video, I'm going to go to last week's class.
Oh, how clever.
All right. So there's the last week class. And when I click on it, there's the class I taught, right? It was the one on browsers. Oh, shit. Don't you see how well that worked?
That's wonderful.
That's how far I got. And then your only choice was Zoom.
Okay, so, well, is my face red? Yes. Okay, so I have the video ready. I just haven't gotten it up here yet.
Oh,
so
good.
What I will do, okay, is I will put, we'll see if this is going to work fast, because if it's not, I'm not going to mess with it. But right here, you will have the video of last week.
Good.
See how many we have? That's why it's hard to keep up. Yep, this is it. Okay. It's not very pretty, so I will get it set up so it doesn't look like that. But basically, you're going to have that video right here. Okay. And so what I'll say is, this is the video of last week's class, this week's class. So here on the event page for last week is the video of that class. And again, when I get in there, I'll clean it up so it doesn't look quite as weird as it's looking right now. But that's where you find it.
Good.
All right, I'm going to get out of this and I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to have to go back twice because remember, I just changed it. So here is the calendar again, where I went back to, and let's say you missed the first Beltline class. Okay, and you want to hear it. So you just go right here on the 14th and you just click. We'll see how bad Peggy did because she was working really hard to keep up with this, and here you will see the video of the first class. And once you click that, the video loads and there is Lucy's first class on the Beltline.
Neat.
And then you use your back button and you're back to the calendar.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm trying to do, and here are the classes you will find. It will be my technology class. It will be Tina's Tai Chi. Now here's one exception to this rule, and that's Tina's Tai Chi classes are all going to be here on the Tai Chi page. It's the only place I'm doing this because that we want to put all together. But for everything else, you're going to see it here on the event page. So that means my technology class, the movie club discussion, okay? The Beltline conversation. One, and Tai Chi. Those are the 4 recordings I do. My technology, Tai Chi, movie club conversation, and the Beltline.
You
No,
don't do Potter's class?
no
Nope.
line dancing?
I do not record line dancing at this point. The line dancing page tends to be videos that Rose makes available of all of the dances.
Oh.
So I have used that rather than recording the actual class. Now I can certainly talk to her about that. But at this point, Mary, I don't record line dancing, and I don't record Richard. And here's why. Because a lot of what Richard is using in his class are videos. So to record a class of playing videos feels redundant to me, because you can simply go to his class page and the videos are there. Like if we go to the one he taught last week, his videos are always, actually, this is this week, isn't it? What's the date here?
Oh,
The 19th, well, it's the 18th today, 19th.
19th. So this is, he sends me his stuff, and these are all here for tomorrow.
oh, good. Because we had homework.
Yeah.
These 3 are ones you're supposed to be, these are homework.
Yeah.
I think it's homework for next week, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, Badlands.
I wasn't there. This is what he's going to talk about tomorrow. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to me to record a playing of videos. You can go play whenever you want.
Okay, good.
Yes, yes.
Peggy, I would really like to put in a vote for getting Rose's sessions recorded, because I would really like to do that in between times. I've used her other things, but they're sort of difficult sometimes to follow.
I don't disagree with you. All righty, I'll run it by her, and as long as she's okay, I will do that.
Yeah.
Great.
And here's the deal, you all have to help me remember to click the record button. Okay, because it doesn't happen automatically, so I'll need your help. So if you're ready, okay, so that's how you find past sessions. Like for instance, you can go here to the movie club from the 13th, which is last week, and you can see the discussion that they had on Stagecoach. But let's say you don't want to know what we did last week. You want to show up to the darn meet. You want to come to the class. Anytime you want to be there live, when your goal is to be in the room, you go to that class on that date and you click the Zoom link. And that puts you in the room. Okay? So whenever you think about the Zoom link, all the Zoom link is going to do is put you in the room in that moment in time. What the event page does for you is it gives you information that's available to you anytime you go there. The event pages do not go away. Now, did you notice when I clicked on his class last week? Although it may have changed. Yes. You see this little blue box?
Fair.
This event has passed. Yes,
Yeah.
it has. Because that was last week, but none of this changes. It all still stays there. So even though the event is over, the
Right.
content is always on that page.
And that's our homework at National Park, isn't it?
Yeah,
No,
That was
this
our
is,
home-
no, these two are what you watched last week, didn't you?
He said to do national parks for homework.
Oh,
Yeah,
you didn't.
We
you didn't-
watched Yellowstone. It was long. He said that was the longest one he had.
So you didn't get to the other one. Okay. So okay, perfect. So now you've got where your homework is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It all centers around the calendar. Zentangle will not be recorded, and that's because Hillary can't, she has to go through a whole bunch of approval stuff because it's a copyrighted technique. And so I can't record her. So if you want to learn Zentangle, you just got to show up. Wait till you see my Zentangle. I didn't have a kit last week, so I couldn't play. So I'm working on mine to bring it this week. It's really pitiful, but I'm doing my best.
oh,
I
there.
I
That's
figured
much
you
fun.
artists might have trouble with that, but because it's
No, I love it. In fact, this morning when we had coffee, I did one while we were talking.
great.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay, so is this all clear? Everybody's good with this?
Yeah.
Everybody knows where everything is? Okay, cool beans.
Sounds great.
I want to know how many hours or days it takes you to get that all organized.
Too many. Yeah, I'm working on the calendar is one of the ways I have streamlined it a little, but the recording does take some time. So I'm looking for a little help with that. I got a couple people that I may be able to draft to help me kind of organize and get it up there. Sometimes it takes you more time to teach somebody else how to do it than to just frickin' do it, you know? how it goes.
Yes.
But anyway, Haunani is helping, Susan is helping, so it's getting there. We're getting organized. All right.
I hear Ursula's bird.
I know I've missed your bird, Ursula.
I know, that's
You want me to
great.
mute it?
No,
I'm okay if it gets to be a problem for somebody. I'll just mute you. If somebody
Okay.
very
says,
musical.
"Oh, the bird is driving me crazy," I'll just mute it for a minute.
no.
He likes
not that
Peggy's voice.
He does tend to chirp a lot when I talk. So Jerry
Yeah.
or Allie, feel free. If Ursula's bird drives you crazy, all you have to do is tell me and I'll mute him.
Or tell me and I mute myself.
I like the sound of birds.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. So,
Yeah,
but not everybody does. So it's okay. It's okay. Whatever works. All right. So I want to talk for just a minute. I'm going to start with a new window here. All right. So my window, what window did I just open, you folks who were here last week? I'm going to do it
is that
again.
the sen-
I'll do it again. So here I am down on my taskbar. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now remember what the taskbar is. It's that bottom bar with all those program icons on it.
oh, yeah,
Okay. Anything that is an icon, any of these icons all over the place are graphic representations of an application or program. Remember we talked about program used to be what they were always called, and now because of all the mobile movement, people have started calling them applications, but it's the same thing. Okay. Any icon on your, now I got some other things on my desktop. As you can notice, I have a messy desktop. I have both icons that represent programs like Zoom and Adobe and Microsoft Edge and Google Chrome, but I also have some documents hanging out here. So icons can represent two kinds of things. It's a representation of a program, but it's also a representation of a document. Like here's my vaccination form that I had to fill out. It's a document, a PDF document. Do you remember what PDF is? Neither do I. No, I'm kidding. I think it document format. It's blah, blah, blah document format. Hold on. Portable document format. Bloody heck, I knew that. I couldn't bring it into my brain. So,
Port- Because you can send it out. Is that why it's portable?
no, yes, but it's also the format that is most often used on the web. And the reason people use it for documents that they want to have online is because it is not editable. I can put it up there and you can't change it,
Mm-hmm.
theoretically. But Adobe, who started this whole portable document format, also has a Adobe program that lets you edit PDFs. You just have to buy it and it's more expensive. But if you just have, as most of you do, something called Adobe PDF Reader, right? Adobe Reader, you all have it because it's a default on any Windows computer. All that program will do is read a PDF. It won't let you change it. Okay, you can see I have some Word documents here on my desktop. Right there is a Word document. How do I know that?
With a W.
Because of the W, which means Word, right? And the other way I know it is the extension. Do you see how it says grace.docx? That's
I
the,
can't see that.
I know it's really small and
It's too small.
I can't make it big enough to help.
That's all right.
But basically, it's the extension that every Word document has. Okay, so these are all the things on my desktop. Down here on my task bar, I can promise you all these are programs. This is Edge, File Explorer. This is to the store, Chrome, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Publisher, okay? So they're all programs or applications. Now, here's a trick you may not know. Yeah, yeah,
How do things get to the taskbar?
good question. I'll show you a number of different ways. When you have an icon on your desktop, do you remember how to open it?
Click on it.
Double click.
Mhm.
Oh,
On a desktop icon, you have to double click. When an icon is in your task bar, you single click.
oh.
So let's say I want to open Microsoft Word. Do you see it down here?
Uh-huh.
So if I take my cursor and I put it down there and I click one time, it opens it up.
Okay.
Okay. But if I want to open Microsoft Word over here, it takes 2 clicks to
Huh.
open it up. All right. It's a little thing, but that's how you end up with 2 things open at the same time.
Oh,
You know how that is? Because you double click when you only have to single click and now you have 2 Google Chromes open instead of 1. It happens. So I have several ways that I can put an app or a program onto the task bar. Let me just look at one thing here because I want to make sure I'm showing you this correctly. Yeah, I didn't think it would. Okay. So the most direct way, all right? You know that all your programs are listed here, right? Let me say this. Let me start again. So this little 4-window button in the bottom right corner of every Windows 10 computer is your Start or Windows button.
Mm-hmm.
You have a similar button on your keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
You see it? It looks exactly the same. So if I use my finger and I touch that button on my keyboard, I get the menu, right? If I click on the start button, I get the same menu. You
Mm.
with me?
Yep.
All right. This little gem has several things here. All of this stuff is called your tiles. Movable tiles are all over here. So you can see they come up and they tell you stuff, and you have the ability to edit that. And later when we talk about personalization, we only have 2 more sessions after this, but we're going to talk about 4 on Windows, 4 sessions on Windows, 4 sessions on Apple. At least that's what we've planned so far. So you can customize. There we go. I knew I'd get the right word. You can customize all this, but I don't want to worry about that right this second. Mainly, I want to talk about what all this is over here in the middle. So here are your navigation options. So you can turn the thing off, right? You know where power is. You can click on settings, where all the settings for everything are located. It'll take you to your pictures, which is your pictures folder in File Explorer. It'll take you to your documents, which are your documents on your PC, the documents folder on your PC in File Explorer. I don't know what, oh yeah, or it'll take you to your account profile, which is what that is. All right. But right here is the important part. This is where all your programs are. And all I'm doing right now is scrolling down through all the programs on this computer. You still with me?
Yep.
Your eyes aren't glazing yet. These 2 are at the top because I recently just added them on there. These are the ones I use the most, no surprise. These are things they would love for me to use. No, thank you. I don't even know what that is. I'd have to look that up. And then here are all my programs or applications in alphabetical order. So here is all the A's and B's and C's, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how I can take one of these. In fact, let's get this off the taskbar. All right. So I use a calculator a lot. So I would really like this calculator application that comes standard with Windows. I would like that to be on my taskbar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cursor on the program in the list. I'm going to right click. Remember, a click is always left. I'm going to right click and I get this menu. Okay, are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Calculator, right click. So now I have a lot of things. It will pin it right to the top of the start menu. It will give me a more option. Do you see this more here?
Mm-hmm.
And Beth, do you see this right here?
Okay.
It says pin to taskbar. Okay, so I'm going to do this and I want you to watch what happens. All right, so here I am at calculator. I want it on my taskbar. I right click. I go down to more. And I click on pin to taskbar. And now here it is. Right down here at the bottom, the last item. But I don't want it all the way over there. So I am going to click and hold my button down, and I'm just going to move it over here. I can do that with the Sketch and Snip, or whatever the heck the name of that thing is. Snip, what is it? Snip and Sketch.
Sipping, yeah.
Snip and Sketch. And here, I don't think I need the snipping tool anymore now that I have Snip and Sketch. So I'm going to put my cursor right on it. I'm going to right click and I'm going to choose Unpin from Taskbar. And now that one's not there.
Could I ask a question right here?
Of course.
You have that symbol, and I do too, for Edge. Why do we want that there?
I'm going to talk right now about browsers, and that will be a question you can
Okay.
answer for yourself.
Okay,
All right. Did that answer your question, Beth?
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now I want to talk a little bit quickly about browsers. So I'm going to go down here to my taskbar, and I'm going to, you see when I put my cursor down there, do you see how you get two little pictures down there?
mm-hmm,
That means right now I have two windows open in Chrome. And if I go over here, do you see how I get a spreadsheet?
Yeah,
That means I have one Excel workbook open in Excel. If I put my cursor on the icon on the taskbar, it shows me what's open. That's what I do to y'all all the time when you tell me you lost Zoom. And I have you put your cursor there and you see the Zoom window and you see pictures. Usually right now you're seeing my meeting controls, but you follow?
mm-hmm,
Okay. When so here's what I want to talk about. So this is Chrome, okay? Uh-oh, we lost Allie, okay. And now I'm gonna also, do you see the Edge icon?
yeah.
I'm gonna open that one too. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna touch, so I'm gonna touch the top taskbar with the cursor, and I'm gonna click and hold it down. Do you see how I can move this window all around? Are you seeing this, y'all?
Yeah,
If I take that and hold it, and I move it all the way as far to the right edge as I can, I now have two windows open at the same time, right?
yeah.
I have Chrome on the left, and I have Edge on the right. But geez, guys, they look identical. Now, why would that be?
Because they both have Google.
Exactly right. They're two browsers, two companies. The one on the left, that's Chrome, is made by Google. The one on the right, that's Edge, is made by Microsoft. But what I've done is I've gone into these and I've decided what my home page is. So let me see if I can be real clear, because we talked about this last week, but it's easy to lose track of this. A browser is an application or a program. So let me open one more. Do I have one more? That's the question. I don't think. Because I don't think I put Mozilla on here. So I'll have to go with these two.
You could put 3 on there at the same time?
You three different programs? Sure. I could open let's open File Explorer for the sake of argument, okay? So I could take my Chrome and I put it up in the top right corner. So now it only takes a quarter of the space. And then I take File Explorer and I put it in the bottom right corner. And then I open Edge and it's over here. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All I do is I put my cursor on the top bar of the window. I click and hold, okay? And then I put it up in this top corner. And now I can, what have I got open at the moment? Edge, Google, File Explorer. So I could say, okay, cool, I'll open a Excel spreadsheet and I'll put it down in this bottom corner. So now you can see what I have are 4 different applications all open at the same time.
Now, why would you want to do that exactly?
That's a really good question, Mimi. So let's say, when we talk file management in about 2 minutes, I'll give you a good example of why.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
because I don't want to lose the path I'm on here, okay?
Okay, fine.
All right, so, geez, come on, stop it. I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna close this, and I'm gonna make these 2 just half the page. Okay, and this
How
is
did you
something,
do that?
say that again.
How did you do that? How did you enlarge it?
I touch the top with the cursor, I click and hold, and if you want it to be half the screen, you have to pull it the middle of the side, and it's half the screen.
Hmm.
And if now I choose this one, it's automatically going to be the other half. If I take it like this and I put it up in the top corner, it's going to take a quarter of the screen.
Huh.
If I hold it again and I take that and I put it in the middle side, it's going to be half the screen.
Peggy, when you get to teaching iPad, will you show us that again, how to do it on an iPad?
I will. And the thing that iPads have right now is they have a thing called multitasking, and it lets you do exactly the same thing. And in a minute, I'll show you why you care. Okay, browsers. The one on the left is Chrome. The one on the right is Edge. Edge is Microsoft's browser. Chrome is Google's browser. Both of them are at the moment using the same search engine. Do you remember Paul, who's in love with this duck, duck, goose?
Go.
Go?
Yeah, go. Duck, duck, go.
Okay, so I could make, in fact, I did this last week in class, and then it took me a good 10 minutes to get all the damn DuckDuckGos off all of my home pages. Because everything I opened, I went to DuckDuckGo when I didn't want to be there.
And why does he like that so much? Is it better?
He likes it because it is allegedly, and it is more secure and private.
Oh, okay. He's very
you-
proud.
Oh yeah, he's very paranoid. So if you look down here, okay, it gives you lots of information about that very fact, that that's their call to fame.
How do you know
Yeah.
which one is the default browser?
Default. In terms of on your Windows computer,
Uh-huh.
okay. This is one of those times where you go to settings. Do you see settings over here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if you open settings, there's something called, I think it's in, yes, okay. I have to just decide. Well, I'm trying to figure out where it is so I can tell you exactly how I got here. Yeah, okay. Because there's so much in settings. I could spend an entire hour class on nothing but settings. And I have done that on occasion, but it's really boring. So, so I'm not doing that today, but there's a whole gob of stuff here. When you want to deal with applications or programs, you want to go here where it says apps.
Yeah.
And you see it says uninstall defaults, if I'd have just read, I don't know,
Oh, yeah.
and optional features. If you click that, all right, now remember, I have a gob of stuff on my computer, okay? Remember who I am and what I do. Right here on the left, there's a thing called default apps. And this is how you choose the applications that will automatically open under certain tasks. And right here, you see web browser.
Oh, yeah, you have Chrome.
And here are all the choices I have. Chrome, Internet Explorer, which is the old Microsoft browser that I do not recommend you go backwards to. Microsoft Edge, a light version, if you will, okay? And then the big Windows 10 Microsoft Edge. So if you're a Microsoft person, you use Microsoft Edge with a little curlicue.
And that's the same as the old Internet Explorer.
It took the place of Mimi.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so when they did Microsoft, when they did Windows 10, they upgraded the browser to do many, many, many more things than the old one did. So if you're in Windows 10, you want this Microsoft Edge.
Yeah.
If you're a Google, go ahead, Mary, what were you going to say?
This is what I want to know. Go ahead. Why do
If
we
you're-
want it?
If you're a Google person, in other words, if you use a Gmail email address, if you work between multiple devices, and if you're interested in syncing your information device to device, Google Chrome lets you do that. Okay, now Microsoft Edge will also do that, but it's a manual process where you have to bring in your information. Okay. So I have Google Chrome as my default. Now, Mimi, that doesn't mean I can't open another browser.
Yeah.
It
Right.
just means that when I need a browser, when I'm doing something where a browser is going to open automatically,
Mhm.
it's going to open Chrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can even do DuckDuckGo if we want to.
Yep, which Paul does, actually. Well, he wanted to do, but he didn't know how to do it. And then I did it and it wouldn't stay. But what I learned is it just takes it a little time, because the next day when I opened everything, all I had was DuckDuckGo everywhere. So it does work. It just takes the time to refresh, okay? But you control everything here, all right? It controls what your default is. So if I were to change my default email, okay, the problem I have with email on a Microsoft machine is Gmail ain't an option. It'll open Google Chrome, and then I'm at Gmail, okay? So there's some interesting interplay between Microsoft and other applications. This is the Microsoft map. Well, I would use Google Maps. All right.
So, but why would we keep it around on the taskbar if we really are using Chrome all the time?
You don't have to. I do for two reasons. Every once in a while, and it's happening more lately, I will confess, Chrome gets hinky. You know, that technical term I have where it just acts up for some reason, doesn't like a security protocol, won't open my American Express account, just gets weird. And I can just go and I can click on Microsoft Edge and go there. I also keep both, obviously, because I teach both. So
Okay.
for me, I want them both there. It used to be I had Mozilla down there too, but there's only so much room on my computer. Remember now, these are browsers, not DuckDuckGo is a search engine, not a browser. Okay,
Somebody on the Nextdoor email thing, you know, the neighborhood email,
yeah,
somebody had said that they had more success trying to get an appointment for the vaccine by using Firefox or something. Would that make any difference or no?
it could. And the reason it could, Bobby, is because part of it is it depends on everybody's security protocols. So a Mozilla is going to be just slightly better protected because they have a higher level of privacy and security protocols. Okay, does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
What's the
Um,
difference in a search engine and a browser? Now, wait a minute. They both give you information.
no, they don't.
They don't?
No, a search engine, I'm trying to think of other ways to say this that make it clearer. A browser is a door to an internet. A browser is a program that lets you online.
Okay,
You don't have a browser, you don't get online.
right.
A search engine is a program that lets you search the internet.
Once you're online.
Correct. Unfortunately, what's happened is browser companies have worked hard to get you to use their search engine. So what they've done is they've married both in language and in availability. They've married their browser and their, it's like Google. You think Google is Google is Google, and Chrome is the browser. Google is the search engine.
On Chrome, yeah.
It's the search engine, period. We just had Google as the search engine on come on, Peggy, on Edge. Right? I had
Yeah.
Google. Now I just did a new tab on Edge. Do you see what I have here?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
This is Bing.
That's Bing, right?
That's Bing. Jerry, you're absolutely right.
Well,
So
that's my problem. Oftentimes, other programs are trying to reset my search engine to Bing. I love Chrome. I don't want Bing. And so I know when I download a new software sometimes, or sometimes I guess they're like viruses or something, they literally will change my search engine. And so I don't know if there's anything to do about that. But if the
Yes.
things are on the taskbar, most of the time I just go ahead and take them off, and that's okay, right? Because if I don't want it, it's fine.
if you don't
And it
want
doesn't represent the real program.
correct. If you take the icon off the taskbar, all you're doing is taking the icon from an accessible place. It's the same thing if you take the icon off the desktop. You're just removing the icon, not the program. Here's the problem, Jerry, and why you might want somebody to log in and take a look at your computer, because typically when that happens, you have malware. You have something that has been downloaded onto your computer either through another download, it happens often, you're going to get something legitimate that you want, and they piggyback some other malware on it.
Right.
And one of the most common malware problems is called search engine redirect, which means it intentionally redirects you from the search engine you want to the search engine they want you to be at, where they are offering you additional opportunities to buy stuff, to get stuff, to be where they want you to be, to download even more malware. Now, one of the things we talked about was the last class, that 4th week. I am going to talk about security. And if I can get Gene to join us, I may ask him to do that. But one of the things I strongly recommend is that you purchase, download, and install something called Malwarebytes.
I have Malware Premium, but
Perfect.
occasionally I still get it. And
Yep.
more often than not, it's if I'm on somebody else's, not you, somebody else's Zoom program or Facebook something,
Yeah.
and they have documents they want you to download, and
Yep.
that's what I think has been happening. Malware will eventually catch a lot of them, but many times they've already switched it, and I have to manually go back and reset the default that I
Good.
want.
Good. Then you're probably doing exactly what you need to do. I have every kind of bloody security software I can think of. I still get it. I'll just be off somewhere. I know I really don't want to be, but I'm looking at something interesting and I think, oh, well, maybe I'll try that. The next thing I know, bam, 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 my search engine is being redirected. Every time I open Chrome, I get some foolish, and you can usually tell it when your search bar, when you open Chrome, is some
It
weird,
doesn't say Chrome.
Jerry knows exactly what I mean. It's some weird looking thing with funny little pictures underneath it. And you're going, what the heck? This isn't my normal search engine. So it's a good warning to you if it happens to any of you that you probably have some malware on the computer. And just adding Malwarebytes is not expensive and it makes a huge difference.
Peggy, what's this malware? Malware what?
I'm trying to think, Ursula, it would work on your Chromebook.
Okay,
Malware, M-A-L-W-A-R-E,
got it.
bytes,
Oh,
B-Y,
bytes. I didn't understand that you said bytes. Got it.
like computer bytes, B-Y-T-E-S.
Got it.
And they do have a free version that
I
you
have
can
a free
download
version.
and try to make sure it works, and then decide if you want to upgrade.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So here's the bottom line to Mary's question. I think you want to pick one. In other words, some people don't know how they feel about the Microsoft browser versus the Chrome browser versus Mozilla. Open them up and play with them. You know, just see what you think. Chrome, Edge has added some very interesting and neat new features, but it takes you time to learn them. If you're not interested and you're happy with Chrome, then don't put it on your taskbar, don't leave it on your desktop, and just stay with Chrome. And if you're going to do that, just go into your settings and make it your default browser and Google your default search engine. Everybody with me on this?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting rid of this for a minute. There are lots and lots and lots of things. I got to figure out why it's doing that. I'm going to have to do a little work. You can do on Chrome. Chrome, excuse me. Okay. The reason I like Chrome, I'll give you my little testament. all right, is because it lets me sync easily. I have a Google, here comes that Google account question, Mary. Why do I care and do I have a Google account and do I want one? If you have a Gmail email address, you have a Google account. The advantage, you see me here, okay? I'm signed into my Google account. There's my much younger and thinner picture. This is my Gmail link, right? Here are the 9 squares, which are all the Google apps. So if I want to use YouTube, if I want to go to my calendar, I don't use Google Calendar, but that's contacts, all that's just right here, okay? Across here are all of my synced. Do you know when I say the word sync, what I mean, right? I mean synchronized. So these are all my synced bookmarks. So when I open my, so I'm in a class on Android, for example, and I'm showing you something that my Android phone does. In fact, I'll do that quick in just a second. So any device I pick up, when I pick up my iPad, when I pick up my iPad Pro, when I pick up my Android phone, when I pick up my Android tablets that I use to teach the Agape people, when I pick up my laptop and I open Chrome, everywhere it looks exactly like
The
this.
same.
Yeah, I'll have to show you later because I don't have this meeting code in there and I don't want to go through all that. But basically anything I do here, I can see anywhere I am as long as I'm logged into my Google account. So right here is history, right? This is a way to show you. Do you see where I am? Up here in the corner,
Peggy, how did you get in here?
I just opened Chrome.
Oh, okay, that's Chrome.
So all I did was I went down here to my taskbar. Now I did new window because I don't want to open one that's already got something in it. So I just right clicked and picked new window, but I just opened Google Chrome.
Okay.
And I have chosen Google search as my default homepage and my default search engine. So that's what opened. This is Google Chrome's, sorry, this is Google's graphic for MLK Day.
Oh, okay.
That's why it looks the way it does.
And they're fun. Every day it's different. You learn
It's
stuff
amazing,
from
isn't
them.
it? And I love when they do the ones the kids make.
Yeah.
I always think, God, I wish I was that talented.
If you click on them, they'll tell you information about whatever it is.
So when I click on it, it gives you the full Wikipedia and all this information on MLK. It does that with anything that they put. Every day, the graphic will connect you to some information about the graphic. Okay, so here's where I am. This is my bookmarks bar. Sorry, the term just went right out of my brain. These are all bookmarks that I use. Like I showed you this the other day when I needed to have links to the birding class stuff. I put it in a folder, all the links I wanted to keep, and I put them in a folder called birding class, and I put that folder on my bookmarks bar. I'll get to that in a second. I also have a bunch of other bookmarks because I never throw anything the damn away, which I need to stop and change. But here's a whole bunch of other bookmarks. And then
That
here
should be
are,
a class on how to clean it out.
yeah, amen. There
Hundreds and
could,
hundreds of them.
yeah, which is sit down and do it, Peggy, is my thing. So anyway, that's what I always say to myself. So what I'm going to show you now is this 3 dots right up here. because those three dots are your Chrome menu. So when you click on that, you get the menu. Here's everything you need to know about Chrome. So history is one of the choices. You can see they just told me you just closed this page on Martin Luther King Day. Do you want to reopen it? No. So I'm going to go just to history because I want you to see something. All right. This is Chrome history, this device. Every place I've been, everything I've done. You will not believe how many things I have found that I can't remember where the heck they are by going to history and searching. And the link comes up and I go, Judas Priest, of course it's called that. Why didn't I remember that?
How long does that stay there?
Depends on
month?
your settings.
Oh, okay.
Mine if you go to settings in that same menu,
Mm-hmm.
this is where, let me just look because I don't want to take the time to find where it is. This is where you decide how long your history stays there. And this is where you can go and clear the whole bunch of it out. For instance, Jerry was talking about if you do get a malware infection, sometimes one of the solutions, one of the things they recommend you do is to clear your browsing history. Just clear it right out because that's one of the ways that they get you redirected. So Mimi, this is where all this is set. And you decide the time range. So mine clears it.
4 weeks.
No, mine only clears images and files every 4 weeks.
Hmm.
I let everything else stay because I want to keep my browsing history. So my browsing history never goes away, theoretically. Let me go back to that. Oh, it's right here. But here's the fun part, guys. Do you see this says tabs from other devices? So these are all the places I work. These are the places I've been on my phone. These are the places I've been on my iPad. And these are the places I've been on the other desktop that I brought from the office. I have 3 anyway. So these are the places I've been on devices other than this device. So for me, that's cool because
Sometimes the police use that when they're trying to catch someone.
yeah, so I better be careful, hadn't I? Okay, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Is that how the advertisers get you too? That you're looking at slippers and all of a sudden the next day there's all these ads for slippers.
Advertisers tend to get you by using some
Cookies.
called cookies.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, if Gene were here, he would tell you they're awful. You should get rid of them. You should. That's not my philosophy because cookies can be bad and cookies can be very, very helpful. Because cookies are part of the way that I save passwords. How do you think you save your passwords? You know how when you tell Google to save that password so you don't have to remember it? Well, how do you think it does that?
Probably
So,
cookies.
Cookies aren't all bad. The other thing I would tell you is if you go down here to settings, and you're not going to have time to screw with this, but if you go here to passwords, this is every password Google has saved over the course of my life. I can manage them all right here.
And if your memory's bad, it will save you many times.
Indeed it will. But you have to remember your Google account password. That one password you need to write down and not lose. Because that password Google will not ever give you. They'll let you reset it, but you go through a lot to make that happen. They'll have to send you text, they'll have to confirm it's you, but you don't, they won't give it to you. These, they'll show you. Like I could go right here. Let me pick one that's not the AJC. And if I do this thing, it shows me my password, but now it says, well, wait a minute. We don't know that it's you, Margaret Palmer.
Mhm.
How do we know you're trying to see your password? So now you have to give me the PIN number you use to open your computer. And once I do that, see, it will show me the password. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you are somebody who uses that save your password thing, this is where you can find it if you need to. So now you know, Mary, why I recommend stay with one thing, and I really like Chrome.
Mhm.
But I've also gotten used to how it works. You know, it's a matter of learning curve for me. So I can go
Well,
down here to bookmarks and go to the bookmarks manager, and look, I control all my bookmarks, the folders I make. These are all in my bookmarks bar. I can go in and get rid of any of these I want to. These are like other bookmarks that I have. I can dump all this, and should dump most of it actually. But here's where I manage all of it simply, easily in a location on Chrome. Bookmarks, bookmark manager. Voila.
Peggy,
Well,
the
I was
other
just,
thing,
yeah,
Hang
Go
on,
ahead.
Jerry first, then Mary.
the other thing I discovered, and I'm not sure exactly how it works, because it syncs across devices. I actually dropped my cell phone in the driveway once and ran over it. And when I went in the store, I literally did run over my own cell phone. When I took it to the phone store, they said they couldn't retrieve the chip because it had been damaged. And because I saved my contacts inside Gmail, they literally were able to restore every single contact that I had put inside Gmail and download it to my new phone. And
Yep.
I was doing basically a backup for what would have been all of my lost contacts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mary, what were you going to say?
I guess I was interested in decluttering taskbars, and I just wondered since I'm using Chrome, why I have that edge down there.
You don't have to. That's what I
Okay.
said. If you've made a choice and you don't want to compare and contrast, just
Yeah.
right click and say unpin.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. But here's what I am going to say. If you're into decluttering, and then we're going to be done because your eyes are starting to glaze over. Right down here, you have something called File Manager. I'm sorry, File Explorer. And this is the place I want you to spend some time this week. Because I know that most of you don't go here. Most of you, if you want to find something, any file you want to find, you just stick it on your desktop or whatever. So you can always find where it is. So part of what I want to say to you is this program, and it's a program called File Explorer, shows you everything on your computer. So when I go here to this PC, you see that?
Yeah.
I click on this little arrow on the side. It opens up everything that's on this PC. So you can see I have a desktop, and that has all these things that we've already been talking about that are sitting over here on the side all those icons. Documents is the default place that a Windows 10 computer will put documents you create in various programs. Okay. But they also do a lot of things you may not want. So here I am in Documents. Okay. Do you see this ribbon up here? That's what this is called. It's a ribbon, the home ribbon, all across the top. That's your menu of navigation, and it's kind of like all the things it will do, right? So I'm going to do new folder. I've picked Documents. I'm going to do new folder. Now, do you see how the words new folder are blue?
Yeah,
Can you
at the
see that?
bottom. Mhm.
Okay, don't touch the mouse. Just type. So if I type examples from class, you can see that what I typed replaced the blue words. Now, if I take my cursor and just click over here in the white, examples from class is now there as a new folder. One more time. If I hit new folder and the words are blue, but if I don't pay attention to Peggy and I go ahead and click, you'll see the blue is gone, right? And now you have a new folder called new folder. Do you know how many new folder folders you all have on your computers? A lot, a lot, because I know you. Because you assume you should click it. So when you do new folder, see my hands in the air, okay? The words are blue, don't click type. And what you type will replace the blue text. And then you click and the folder's there. Now, let's say I made this mistake and what am I going to do with it? So now I got a thing called new folder. I don't want a new folder.
Rename it.
I mean,
Right.
I got too many new folders now. If I put
Rename it.
my cursor on it, rename it, and I right click, okay, and I pick rename, I get those blue letters again. And now I can
Okay.
type any name I want and rename it. But here's an even better thing about File Explorer. It doesn't expect you to worry about right clicking. Look, right here, if I select the folder named new folder by clicking on it, you see I've selected it. How do you know I've selected it?
It's blue.
It turned blue.
It's blue, good job. So I now can go up here and click rename, and I get that blue text again. So I don't necessarily have to remember about right clicking. I just use this menu bar. So now let's say I really don't need all these damn folders in here. So I'm going to select another folder, right? Here it is. Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to hit delete because I don't need it. Boom, gone. Oh my God, I deleted something I shouldn't have deleted. What do I do now? You just go right up here to the recycle bin and voila, there is another folder. You select and you do restore. Restore the selected item. And now another folder's back down there. Are you still with me? Have I lost you yet?
So how do you put things in the folder now, now that you,
Okay, good job, Mimi. All right.
Yeah.
Let's say that examples from class. Now, here's a real important thing. All right. So I'm now in this PC. Okay. Over here on the left, I'm selecting a part of my computer. So I'm going to select documents. think of this as a file cabinet. So I can see the file cabinet with all the drawers. That's what's on the left. It's the drawers of my file cabinet right over here. Are you with me?
Mhm.
Makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if I pick, I say, okay, documents, I'm going to approach that drawer and I open it. I can't just wish the files out, right? I can't just say voila and a folder opens. If I go over here and I double click another folder, it opens. Just like if you pulled open the file drawer, you have to pick the area, reach in and pull out the file and open it. Same thing here. I'm here in documents. Here's all my folders, right? I'm going to double click on another folder. Well, geez, this folder is empty because we have not put anything here. I just made this folder, right?
Yeah.
Well, I like this document here on my desktop called Grace. I'll show it to you in a minute. It's a wonderful little saying. And I liked it so much, I wrote it down. I want to put that in my another folder. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go back to documents. I have picked another folder. I'm going to delete that. I don't need any other folders. And I'm going to go. Did I delete my class examples?
No, it's there. Examples from class.
There it is. Thank you. Thank you, Jerry. I'm going to use examples from class. So I'm going over here and I'm going to double click, which pulls it out of the file cabinet, opens it up. And I'm like, you know, it would be cool if this document was in there. How do I get this document from my desktop into that folder?
Drag it and drop it.
Click and hold, drag and drop. Now be very clear. It's no longer here on my desktop. You see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has moved. So remember, when you drag and drop, you move. So let's say, oh gosh, I really want it on my desktop too. So now it's still blue, so it's selected, right? Do you see up here, I could copy, I could paste, or look at this. I could copy to. You see that where I clicked? It says copy to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I click and I can put it any of these places I want. I can use the scroll bar and I can go down here and look, here's desktop. So if I click desktop, look at that. I now have the Grace document on my desktop and in my folder. File Explorer is one of the most powerful programs or applications you have available to you in a Windows 10 computer.
Now you said that's our homework. What are we supposed to do with it?
I want you to use File Explorer this week. I want you to go into Documents, okay? Here's your file cabinet of your PC. Now I have an extra hard drive here that has a whole gob of stuff in it. And I have actually I have a thumb drive stuck in there right now. But this is everything on my PC. All right. And if I go to Documents, to that file drawer, I can go right up here. I can make a new folder. And then I can go to the folder I made right here. I double click to open it. And now I want to put some other things in there that aren't easily accessible here on my desktop. Well, good gracious, how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to go back to Documents and I'm going to find them. So here is, let me find one. This is a Venn diagram, okay? And I would really like to put that in that folder. Now, if I want to move it, all I have to do is click on it and drag it into examples from class, and now it's in there. That's all I did. I didn't do anything else funny. Let's say I have a Zoom recording. Oh, I don't have any there. So I find a Zoom recording. All right. I would really like to put that in that class example folder. How am I going to do that? I can't see the folder now, right? I mean, where did the folder go?
Well, it's down there. It's not.
It's in another location, so you gotta move it there some other way, like copy it or cut it or.
Exactly,
it.
because that class example folder is up here in documents, right?
Yeah.
So I can do two things. I can go up here where it says move to or copy to. So if I click on copy to, and I go down here to examples from class, that's where it'll put it. This is a hugely powerful additional feature that Microsoft has added to the window toolbar of their File Explorer. It's hugely helpful because all of the older adults I have worked with on this never know where their files are and never know how to move them around. So copy to, I'm going to go down here to examples from class, and it's copying. It's a big file because it's a video file. So now here I am on D, and there's Movie Club Class 1. Now I go to Documents. I double click to open examples from class, and look at that. It is that easy to organize your files. So if you have a document, I'm going to delete this, by the way, because I don't need copies of this everywhere. So if I have a document and I just want to put it in a different folder, the second way I can do it is I'm here and I've got Zoom video, and here's my Movie Club Class 1 video, right? Well, oh, that's bad. Great. What'd you do? Delete it from both places? No, there it is. I just moved my mouse. My bad. So I'm going to select that. Now I'm going, damn, I don't want to use that toolbar. So I can go right over here to Documents. I can right click and I can pick Open in New Window. Oh, look at that. Do you remember when you asked me why in the world would I want two windows open at the same time? Well, here's Documents on this side, and here's Zoom recordings on the other. So all I have to do is go over here to say, oh, examples from class. Well, look at that. I can just take this and I could move it by just dragging it over there, right? Or I could just go up here and go, I'll copy it. And then I go over here and I paste it. And look at that. That fast. So my point in all this, y'all, let me stop sharing. My point in this is, and what I want you to work on this week is there are powerful tools built into Windows, you know, like that really are there specifically to help you organize and find things. And they have set that ribbon up in a way that is highly intuitive. So it's not like you have to spend 9 years figuring out what they're telling you. It's move to, copy to. All you have to do is select an item and you get those choices. Play with it. You might be amazed.
I
And
didn't
I-
even know it was there.
And you can see how you can organize all those crazy files. So now when you have a Word document and you're saving it, don't do just save, do save as, and pick where you want it to go. And then you know where it is. All right, you want something fun? I'm going to end with something fun.
Good.
So here I am in Word. Let's see if I can work this. I've been trying to get this right, so I think I can. So I'm going to open a blank document. Okay. Everybody knows regular Word, nothing fancy here, just Word. I'm now going to touch the Windows key and the H key. This is the time. We'll see if this works. Yes. This is the time when I now can dictate what I would like to say, period. And I can even dictate with an exclamation point.
What was
Exclamation
the-
point.
What was the key you touched besides Windows?
Okay, 1 second.
The H key.
But you
H.
see how it's just typing what I say.
Yeah.
So it is a way for you to do something called voice dictation. So what I did is I touched the Windows key and the H key. Windows and held it down and touched the H key. And then a little bar came up at the top that said listening, and then it was dictation. And so I could do what in the old days, we used to do this all the time. This is an important report, period. It is now time for us to understand. I used to do this as a child welfare worker constantly. And some poor secretary got to transcribe my dictation until they finally said, this is stupid. These social workers can type. I mean, seriously?
Well, can we do this in an email we're writing or a message we want to send?
That's my understanding, Mary. I have not played with it a whole lot, but my understanding is that when you do this, you have the ability to do dictation, whatever application you're using. So try it.
So you don't have to learn shorthand anymore.
Exactly. Now, it's not perfect. I mean, it has its little hiccups and you got to play with it a little, but I thought it was
Depending on
fun.
your accent, it might come out a different word too.
Yeah, we got to have Ursula try it. But Ursula, I'm not sure you got a Windows key on your Chromebook.
No, I don't.
I know.
So I think I learned something, but I may sit out the next week or two because then
No problem, Jerry. Take care.
Is that automatically saved when it types what you've said?
No, you have to use the save button just like before.
Mhm.
I'm going to try that on an email.
Well, it's worth a shot. I just thought it was a fun trick to give you at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
trial File Explorer and see what it does for you.
I recently did a fair amount of organizing with File Explorer. Boy, is that nice to have that done and know where things are. But I didn't know all the easy tricks that you just taught us.
Well, good. I'm glad. Give you a little extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just checking something. No, they don't. That's what I thought. Okay. I thought it was pretty good. Next week, we'll talk. What didn't I get to that I said I was going to get to? Oh, I want to talk about incognito. How you use your browser securely.
Okay.
Okay.
Have any of you ever used Incognito?
No,
Okay. Okay. All right. We'll talk about it. You guys have a great day. I'll see you all Wednesday.
did you get your
Okay.
shot today, Peggy?
Yes.
How was it?
Actually, this place, we asked them, they're not doing anymore. And Bobby, we were lucky because somebody released the link when they really weren't supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
And we just kind of slid in there because, you
yeah.
know, our doctor relative said, get on this list.
Yeah.
God, are they good? They're professional. I walked in, I was the only person in the lobby. They got everybody separated in small little cubicles. It takes you 2.5 seconds. You know,
Which one did you get?
I did right arm because he said the right arm may be better because if it's your dominant arm, either arm's going to be sore, but if you use your dominant arm, you'll work it through faster.
But what kind of, did you get Modena or
No, I
Pfizer?
got Pfizer.
Oh, Pfizer.
They
Okay.
have to tell you, they have both available. I got Pfizer and I was happy.
You had a choice?
No.
Oh,
They
okay.
do both.
Yeah, they do both,
So
but you
on
don't have
their,
a choice.
no, honey, no. On their form, they give you all the explanation for either vaccine. So that, because they don't know when you're going to come in, which one you're going to get.
Yeah.
So they have to write on there so they know when you come back what you got and what you need for your second shot.
Did they already make your appointment for the second shot also?
Yeah, no, they did it right then.
Yeah.
They're very, 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 they put your name down and the time you walked out and you don't leave until it's 15 minutes after that.
That's what I worry about with Cobb, that maybe in 3 or 4 weeks, I'll have to go through the same thing of trying to find a slot.
No.
No, actually, they don't do that, Bobby. They will give you an appointment for your next shot.
Mimi, did you get what I sent?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much. I got
Oh,
it.
good. Good. Oh, well, I go tomorrow, so I'll find out myself.
And Mary, aren't you going to Publix or Kroger?
Publix.
I love Publix. I went to Publix for my flu shot. They are wonderful.
Yes, I had a shot at Publix, flu shot. It was really good.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But
Well, when did
this,
you get your appointment?
I think yesterday my daughter did it. We got the link to the fact that Publix had all these available in their pharmacies. And so she's been going online and after me to go online. So she did it. She's gotten really fast so that when she gets to the bottom, she can still keep that appointment because it disappears as you're answering things.
Right, yeah, you lose the
And,
booking. Yeah.
So she got it and she chose this Publix because she thought it was going to be in an area where a lot of people weren't trying, like everybody wanted to go to the Peach because it was close. So this one she picked out on Cascade and she got got 2 spots. We're not at the same time, but she's going as my caregiver.
okay, so here's the thing. I wanted to give you guys this, and since you're here and we're talking about it, Danielle, who's on our board, who also works with older adults, says if you text, those of you who haven't got appointments yet, if you text VAX to this, V as in vaccine, VAX as in extra, to 678-679-0250. Okay, so you text VAX to that number, you texters, then you will enter DeKalb or Fulton County, okay, depending on your priority phase, okay, which you are because you're currently 1A, meaning 65 plus frontline healthcare employees, LEO, you know, caregiver, etc. Then you will receive notifications when appointments are available. So it's just another way, so you're not spending your whole life in front of a computer or on a phone or in trying to figure out when you can get an appointment. So Danielle just passed this to me yesterday.
So this is for the county sites, is it?
Correct. This is the county vaccine sites, correct.
I have a daughter-in-law who has lupus and she's under 65. And I have no idea when or how she can get it.
I think the next group they're looking at, I don't know, because I don't know, Bobby. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna trend into that because there's so much confusion. And I'm just hoping, I've already heard interviews from the head of the group that's starting and also the person that Biden has just appointed, totally in charge of the vaccine, his initiative. Really cool dude. I'm trying to remember what he used to. Anyway, I heard him interviewed and he said, please do me the favor of at least let me get in the door and see what's happening and figure out how we can be clearer, standardize, and communicate in a way that's consistent. So give them a chance. Things just might improve a little. There ain't no silver bullet, but things might improve a little with a tiny little bit more consistency. The
Okay.
goal I'm hearing is to push past the older adults, the healthcare worker, frontline worker, but I don't know exactly what the criteria are they're talking about. I have heard 60 plus with pre-existings.
Mhm.
That middle phase, they're not quite 65, but
Right.
they have but Bobby, on the same token, some younger people who have
Mhm.
other kinds of disabilities have been approved for vaccines. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's far.
Yeah, that's what I figured, the pre-existing, nobody's mentioning, but all along, that's been the problem. People with pre-existing conditions are the ones that get sickest.
No question. Or the oldest, one or the other. Yep. Yeah, I agreed. So I look forward to consistency. Consistency in messaging matters, and I'm hoping it will help a little.
But when Johnson & Johnson or whoever gets on next, they'll be able to produce more. Because I would think right now there's also a production limit. How fast can these factories get it out? So the more there is, the faster it'll be given out.
I think that's probably true. Nobody can argue with that for sure. So anyway,
Okay.
I just thought I'd pass on what I learned. So y'all have a great rest of
Okay.
the day. Take care.
Thank you.
See you
Thank
Wednesday, you said. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.